guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. All right, it's November 10th, which is my birthday, and I know a lot of you don't really care about that, but November 10th also means there is the brand new season starting today of Welcome to Plathville. So we're gonna go back like we did last year and do all of the recaps and talking all about the show, and I hope you guys are ready for season 2 because it's already gearing up to be quite the wild ride. If you remember last season, we saw a lot happen between Kim Plath, Barry Plath, and Olivia and Ethan Plath. And this year it's going to get a little bit wilder. All kinds of friction between Ethan and his parents and Mariah and Micah. Now, before we get started, can you do me a favor? Give this video a thumbs up. Also, subscribe down here if you're not yet subscribed. And turn those notifications on so you know when I go live. Okay, so Welcome to Plathville will start tonight on TLC. It is going to be season number 2. It's not clear how many total episodes they're going to have. Now, we know last season there was quite the controversy in the family because Mariah Plath, who was, I think, 16 at the time, was at this sort of place where she wanted to leave home. Olivia sort of scooped her up and took her under her wing. She let her be her assistant for her photography business and even took her on a trip and bought her a one-way ticket to Minnesota where they have grandparents. Well, at the end of last season, Mariah went to hang out with her grandparents in Minnesota and eventually came back. Now, when we return this season, it's a little bit more prickly in the Georgia homes of these families. So Ethan and Olivia actually opened up in this first episode about what happened and what has been going on between them, between Barry and Kim Plath and them as a couple. And it's kind of sad, you guys, and it makes me feel really bad for the siblings in this case because I always feel like, oh, let's just talk about it, okay? So apparently Ethan says that everything sort of fell apart last fall. So fall of 2019, they are saying that this would have been actually around the same time that the show starts airing on TLC for the first season. And they say that Ethan says that his mom and dad tell him that he's no longer able to see his siblings. This is what Olivia said in their interview on the show. During the last year, we were allowed to see the kids some, and then last fall, everything just completely changed, and we were not allowed to see the kids at all. It was just toxic. And then Ethan responded by saying, it really does hurt not being able to see them. That's really hard, and it's very, very frustrating. I have a lot of frustrations that I'm trying to deal with, like, why am I not allowed to see my siblings unsupervised? And they also said that because of the growing friction between his parents and him, they basically just decided to cut off all contact because they needed to have space as a couple to navigate everything that was happening. Now, we don't know what Barry and Kim's side of this is, so it's not clear like why they aren't allowed around their siblings. This does remind me of Jim Bob Duggar and Michelle Duggar not allowing Jill to be at their home unless she has permission from Jim Bob Duggar. So Derek Dillard has said on Instagram that they're not allowed over at the house unless Jim Bob approves. So in this case, they're saying that they're not allowed to see Ethan's siblings unless mom and dad are there. Ethan is saying, I don't want to be around mom and dad because it's just so toxic, and so therefore I don't see anyone. Okay, now when I talked to Olivia Plath last year, what she told me was that Kim Plath believes that she's possessed, basically with evil spirits. And because she has evil spirits in her, she doesn't want her to influence the children. So in the mind of Kim and Barry, according to Olivia, they're going to get their minds twisted by the demons that are in Olivia. Now, on the surface, Kim might believe that, but then Kim is also admittedly sort of a control freak and has also been pretty vocal about like what she does and does not allow her children to do. And Ethan on Instagram and Olivia on Instagram did a live where they actually talked about how the structure of the family was that Kim is very much in control and she really does want full control of what's happening in the household. So, could it be that Kim wants no one to infiltrate the minds of the kids? Like, in Kim's mind, she believes the way that she is raising her children is the right way. In Kim's mind, she believes that she is offering them this life that is simple. It has no electronics. It doesn't have sugar. It has homeschooling. It's in Kim's estimation, it's pure, it's simple. There's no outside distractions. It's traditional. It's like the way life should have been or was years ago. And so is it the sense that in her mind, she just really believes that this is the right way and this is what she wants? Or is it that she wants to control what the kids have access to so that they don't necessarily understand that what they're learning at home may not actually be the truth? Because if they were out in the public, now this is just sort of my opinion, if they were out in the public and they were out at school, they would be learning different things from science to math. They would be learning about things outside of that bubble of their very conservative Christianity. That's it's extreme, let's just say. And so would it be that if they were out there and they had the ability to say, hey, I want to listen to music. Hey, I could wear different clothes. Oh, hey, I'm a girl. I can go to college. I can do all of these things. Now, Hosanna actually had a scholarship, but she didn't pursue it. Mariah at one point was considering going to college. Kim Plath went to college in Florida for a period of time. I'm not sure if she graduated, but Olivia and Ethan, Olivia's a career woman doing her own thing. Ethan has a job as a mechanic. Mariah's working 2 jobs right now. Micah's a model. So is there this idea that if they go out into the world, the kids will realize that there's way more out there than what they've realized? Another sneak peek of this season showed that Micah and Mariah actually confront their parents about how ill-prepared they were going into life after leaving the house. And so they say, like, why didn't you prepare us? Why have we had to learn all of this as we go? And that's something that Ethan has talked about quite a bit, is how little he knew about the world because of how sheltered he had been growing up. Now, every parent has a choice to decide how they want to raise their children. Is it okay for a child to be so sheltered from the world that they really don't understand the basics of society? They don't know the very fundamental things of curriculum and education. They don't know that there's something besides a Bible for this, how the world has revolved, and there's also science that can show how there's been evolution. Is there concern that if they go out there and they get that education, it will sort of break the control that they have sort of enmeshed the family in with that religion? I'm not saying that every family that is a Christian believes these things, and I'm not saying that every Christian does these things, but I do think that Kim's beliefs tend to be a little bit more on the extreme end, and the fact that she and Barry don't want her kids exposed to anything just seems really odd to me. Like, why wouldn't you want your kids to be out in the real world when Barry has a job in the real world, right? He works in Tallahassee, or where he has a real job, like doing real things, and Kim has done real world jobs too. And so why wouldn't you want your kids to know about the real world? Is it that you just want to keep them sheltered as long as possible? Or is it something more nefarious? What are your thoughts about all of this? And what do you think about Ethan actually cutting his parents off, not because of Olivia, but because his mom is just so toxic? Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.